Hey guys, it's Nick from Pick'em MMA and I'm back with another UFC predictions video for this weekend. We have this main event where Mackenzie Dern versus Angela Hill. I know it's amazing 5 round fight that you guys will absolutely love. I'm just joking. Obviously no one wanted this fight as the 5 round fight. It's probably going to decision, but oh well. It's better than having no main event though. Anyways, let's talk about this card. Let's start from the bottom. From the first fight of the night, where we have Takashi Sato versus Themba Gorimbo. Guys, both of these guys I'm not really impressed by. This is this is Themba's second fight. The first fight he lost to AJ Fletcher by submission. I mean, AJ Fletcher is okay, mid, not too good. So that's definitely not a good submission loss to Fletcher. But on the other side, we have Takashi Sato, where he's on like a 3-fight losing skid right now. And he's lost 4 of his last 5 fights. He does have one win in the last 5 fights over Jason Witt, who isn't in the UFC anymore, I think. And he beat him by knockout. And this is a pick'em fight for a reason. And I'm going to take Gorimbo. I think if he is able to fight on his own pace, he's going to be able to beat Takashi Sato. And I don't know how Takashi's chin is, because he got head kicked pretty badly in his last fight against Battle. And that's not a bad loss in my opinion, because Battle did look amazing against Gabe Green. So, but still, I mean, his chin's probably not going to be the same, so that's why I'm going to go with Themba Gorimbo here. Let's move to the next fight on the prelims, where we have Victoria Leonardo versus Natalia Silva, guys. There's a reason that Natalia Silva is a big favorite. She's like minus 550 right now, or 600, minus 600. And she's got the power, she's got the jiu-jitsu to submit like a lot of girls in this weight class. And she's also the younger fighter here. She's only like 26 years old. And she's more athletic here. Victoria Leonardo isn't too bad in my opinion, but this fight does not favor her. Leonardo's only win in the UFC was against Mandy Bohm, and we saw how good Mandy Bohm is yesterday. She's horrific, so that's why I think this is like a 95% chance that Natalia Silva wins this fight. The only way I don't see Silva winning this fight is if she throws the fight like Kim did yesterday. But still, I'm gonna go with Natalia Silva by I'm gonna say knockout. Yeah, she's got a lot of good kicks and everything, so I'm gonna go with knockout. Let's go to the next fight on the prelims, where we have Chase Hooper versus Nick Fiore. Guys, I know Chase Hooper doesn't really have good hands. His boxing isn't there, but his jiu-jitsu is definitely there. And the UFC is definitely doing him some favors, matching him up with Fiore, who is also a grappler. Fiore does have better striking than Chase Hooper, but the problem with Nick Fiore is he always he'll strike for a couple of minutes, then he'll go to his grappling after. And that's where I see Chase Hooper giving him problems with his grappling. And we know Chase Hooper has really good submissions and really good grappling. So that's why I'm going to go with Chase Hooper as a slight favorite here, almost near even. I think more money might come on Nick Fiore later in this week, so wait a couple days before taking Chase Hooper. Just take Chase Hooper money line. Let's go to the next fight on the prelims, where we have Ilir Latifi versus Rodrigo Nascimento. Guys, this is a tricky fight to pick, because I thought Ilir Latifi was done, that he retired, but I guess he's back. He needs more money, like maybe he ran out of money, that's why he's back now. But Latifi does have 2 wins in his last 5 fights. One of those wins was over Tanner Boser by split decision. The other one was over Alexei Oleinik by unanimous decision. In the last fight, he used his wrestling and just edged out the decision over Alexei Oleinik. I'm gonna go with Rodrigo Nascimento, who has better jiu-jitsu and really good, better striking than Ilir Latifi. The UFC is definitely doing favors to Rodrigo Nascimento here, giving him an old veteran like Ilir Latifi. So he has to win this fight, or I think he's gonna go downhill. He's got good submissions also. He's submitted at Dantel Mays and Michel Martinic in the Contender Series. That's why I'm gonna go with Rodrigo Nascimento. I'm gonna go with the decision. Just take money line. Okay, let's move to the next fight on the prelims, where we have Ryan Kase versus Gilbert Urbina. Guys, Ryan isn't really a bad fighter. He's a good grappler, but like, he'll keep spamming takedowns. That's why I don't like seeing. He got knocked out by Philip Rowe and got a decision win over Blood Diamond, where he just took him down over and over. And Blood Diamond isn't even in the UFC anymore. He got cut after like 2 fights. That's why I'm gonna take Gilbert Urbina. He's the much taller fighter here. He's 6'3", fighting at middleweight, and he's got a 74-inch reach. Whereas we have Kase, who's 5'11" and has a 71-inch reach. Ryan does train with the Team Alpha Male, so I mean, that's a really good team. They're having a lot more success right now. Yan Xiaonan just knocked out Jessica Andrade from that same team. That's probably the reason that he's a favorite here. But I do see Gilbert Urbina defending the takedowns and landing some strikes and winning by decision. I'm gonna go with Gilbert Urbina by decision, guys. Let's move to the next fight on the prelims, which is Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Vanessa Demopoulos. And Karolina is the slight favorite here, probably because she's got good striking and pretty good jiu-jitsu also. But Vanessa is really scrappy. This is a hard fight to pick because Vanessa also has a pretty good jiu-jitsu and she's got good cardio also. I'm just gonna take Vanessa Demopoulos. One thing I would like to say is just don't bet in women's fights, because you never know what's gonna happen. Like yesterday, Kim just threw that fight away, just handed that win over to Mandy Bohm. So you never know what these girls are up to, what their like mindset is going into these fights. But my pick is Vanessa Demopoulos here. Let's move to the next fight on the prelims, which is Mahasate versus Vyacheslav Borishev. I mean, this is a difficult name to pronounce. Mahasate is a really good fighter. He's got really good hands, power, and his grappling isn't that high level. He lost his last fight to Rafa Garcia by unanimous decision, which isn't a bad loss in my opinion. Knocked out Steve Garcia. But this is mainly a striker's fight, striker's delight, like I would like to say. So that's why I'm gonna go with Borishev here. He's got the better kickboxing, really good at boxing, like a lot of power also. The way it sets up the body strikes, it's just beautiful. And this fight, he's definitely not fighting a grappler like Mike Davis or Mark DeCasey, who also likes mixing in takedowns. And Mahasate does kind of get into brawls, and I see Borishev knocking him out clean, or maybe just landing more strikes and landing more volume, because Mahasate is very tough and durable. I'm gonna go with Borishev by decision. It could be a knockout play. The knockout by Borishev by knockout will be good. And guys, Borishev did open up as the underdog, and Masate did open up as the favorite here, but the lines have flipped. So a lot of money is coming in on Borishev here, because this fight does favor Borishev for sure. That's why my pick is Borishev by probably by decision. I'm gonna see what the props are when they drop, and then I'll make another video for the props for this card. But for now, I'm gonna pick a Borishev money line. Money line is the way to go. Let's go to the main card. Let's go to the first fight on the main card. We have Michael Johnson versus Diego Ferreira. Guys, both of these guys are very good. They've been in the top 15, top 10. I think Diego Ferreira has been in the top 15 before, and Michael Johnson has been in the top. He's fought like guys like Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier. Like, look at this resume. He's been in the UFC forever, fighting the best guys. I know he's lost a lot of fights. He's lost to Jamie Mullarkey by a split decision, which was very close. And he is making a career resurgence, so he is improving on his mistakes. And like, these losses aren't really too bad fighters. And he's turning it around. He landed more volume against Mark DeCasey, where Mark DeCasey kept trying to take him down over and over. And Michael Johnson was a big underdog in that fight, and he was able to win. He was like a 3-1 underdog, if I remember. And like, he's turning it around now. He's improving on his mistakes, working. He's taking his career serious again, and he is a younger fighter here. Most people probably think Michael Johnson is the older fighter, but when they look at the age, Diego Ferreira is the older fighter here by like a year or two. So I'm gonna go with Michael Johnson by decision here. I do think he's gonna be able to land more volume, and he's gonna be able to defend the takedowns for sure. But Diego Ferreira isn't not a bad fighter. He's only lost to the best guys at lightweight. Lost to Beneil Dariush by split decision. So which tells you that was a very close fight. And he lost to Gregor Gillespie by knockout, and then got knocked out by Mateus Gamera. So I don't know if his chin is still there or not. That's why I'm gonna go with Michael Johnson, who's got very good boxing, very good power. His power is still 50% there, but I do think we're gonna see Michael Johnson winning by decision. Let's go to the next fight on the main card, which is Andre Fialho versus Juan Buckley. Guys, this is a very tricky fight to pick, because both of these guys have very good power, and both of them have been knocked out a couple of times now. Andre Fialho is on a 2-fight knockout streak right now. Losing streak, I mean. Jake Matthews knocked him out. In that fight against Jake Matthews, I mean, he was having some success in the beginning, and then he just gassed out. Jake Matthews kept the pace on him, was keeping the volume there, and Fialho just didn't have an answer, and it was a standing knockout, I think it was. And then he got knocked out by Muslim Salikov by spinning back kick and punches. I'm gonna go with the Buckley here, guys. He's faced a better competition. Look at this. He's lost to Nasruddin Imavov by decision. In the third round, he was having a lot of success against Imavov. He's got a win over Albert Duraev by knockout, and then Abdul Razak Al Hassan, and then Antonio Arroyo by knockout. And his last was against Chris Curtis, who's a really good boxer. Not kickboxer. I'm gonna go with the Buckley here. I think Buckley is gonna get a second round knockout here for sure, because Fialho doesn't have a good gas tank. But I will say that Andre is very dangerous in the first round, so Buckley has to be very careful, because he can also get knocked out here. So what I will say is, don't bet too much money on either of these guys. I think the bet here is under 2.5 rounds, Because either I see Fialho knocking Buckley in the first round, or I see Buckley knocking him out in the second round. So I'm going to go with Buckley by knockout. Let's go to the next fight on the main card, which is Emily Ducote versus Lupita Godinez. And the odds are very close here. They are close for a reason. Lupita Godinez, I mean, she's taking this fight on short notice, so she's got really good wrestling also, but lately she hasn't been able to take down a lot of opponents. Angela Hill beat her by unanimous decision, where she wasn't able to take Angela Hill down, and Angela Hill kept the pace on her, landing more strikes, and beat her by unanimous decision. And she was a big favorite in that fight. And Emily Ducote, she lost to Angela Hill also by unanimous decision. Ducote does have a win over Jessica Penne, which is a really good win. I'm gonna go with Emily Ducote. I think she's gonna be able to defend the takedowns and land more volume, and she's had a better camp for this fight, whereas the Godinez took this fight on a week's notice. That's why I'm gonna go with Emily Ducote by decision. Let's go to the co-main event of the evening, where we have Edmund Sebastian versus Anthony Hernandez. I mean, Edmund had got a win in his last fight against Dalcha Luginbula, where he just kept the pace on Dalcha the whole fight, and then knocked him out with a flying knee and then some punches. Dalcha should not even be in the UFC in my opinion, so I don't really think that's that good of a win to have over Dalcha. But we have Anthony Hernandez. He's got 4 wins in his last 5 fights. He beat Marc-Andre Barrios by submission, then beat Josh Fremd by decision, then beat Rodolfo Vieira by submission, beat Jung Park by submission. I mean, Anthony Hernandez jiu-jitsu is very high level, and this fight does favor Anthony Hernandez, because if this fight goes to the ground, we've seen Edmund Sebastian is not able to get up when he gets taken down, and Derek Brunson just grounded and pounded him and finished him. And Derek Brunson was 38, 39 years old at the time. I mean, Imavov knocked him out. Checker Manson beat him. There's a reason Anthony Hernandez is a big favorite here, and I'm going to say Anthony Hernandez by submission, maybe round 2. Let's go to the next fight, the main event of the evening, the fight that we all wanted to see, guys. We have Mackenzie Dern versus Angela Hill. Guys, what I will say is the bet here definitely will be this fight. I don't see this fight going to distance, but I do see this fight going over 2.5 rounds. I do think Angela Hill is going to be able to defend some takedowns for the first 2 rounds or 3 rounds, and then Mackenzie Dern's eventually going to get her down once Angela Hill gets kind of tired, maybe in the 4th round, and then lock in the submission. Because once Angela Hill gets on the mat with Mackenzie Dern, the fight's going to be over in my opinion. And Mackenzie Dern has really good jiu-jitsu. It's a very high level. And Angela Hill is not good off her back. So that's why I'm going to go with Mackenzie Dern by submission. Maybe a late submission, like a round 4 submission, I'm going to call it right now. Alright guys, that's it for this card. That's the quick picks video for UFC Fight Night. Mackenzie Dern versus Angela Hill. I will be making more content, maybe tomorrow or the day after. I will be making the props, the parlays, the lock of the week. Please subscribe and like. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please comment below who you guys will be betting on. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a good weekend. See you guys next time. Bye bye.